What do you want to experience more, pain or pleasure? Of course, the answer is pleasure. Why would you want to experience pain? But the point is that pain is inevitable experience of our mind. It is because our mind gets entangled with lots of things in our life that can cause us pain. Now, when I say mind gets entangled, it really means the information that we process through our mind basically concludes whether we are going to experience the pain or pleasure. Well, in today's video, we are going to talk about some compulsive aspects of your mind that can lead to either pain or pleasure. And as I said before, this is the concepts taken from Patanjali Sutras, and I'm trying to compile this information so that you can utilize the yogic philosophy and principles and see a dramatic shift in the way you experience your life. So if you are here for the first time, then consider subscribing to the channel. And also, I would encourage you to watch this video till the end, because in this video, I'm going to share very important aspects of your own being that can help you understand yourself a little bit more, understand how you process your relationships, your experiences at your workplace, and your emotional ability to manage conflicts. It is imperative for us to know that we are responsible for the pain and pleasure. It means that how we perceive a certain thing, or a certain situation, or a certain person can make us feel either connected or disconnected, either like or dislike, either be comfortable or uncomfortable with that particular aspect. It is not that the situation itself is the problem. It is that your perception about that situation. It's not that people are generally good or bad. It is how you look at them converts them into good or bad. So every experience that you're having internally is your individual experience. So pain and pleasure that you're experiencing within your being is also very, very individual. So that means what can give you pain and pleasure could be entirely different from what will give me pain and pleasure, or what anybody else will experience as pain and pleasure. First understanding is that it's very personal to me. And it might vary from people to people, because the way my mind processes the information, my mind processes the particular thoughts, is how I'm going to experience it as a feeling and emotion in my body-mind experience. Yogic philosophy, how does this play a role in understanding this better? And some of the practices that we can apply that can make a significant change in increasing your pleasures. So if you're ready, then note some of these aspects down, because I promise you, this is going to open you up to your own being drastically. So first of all, yoga is a process of self-reformation, self-control, and self-adjustment. Reforming, controlling, and adjusting. Because sometimes we need to let go of some of the things that are not serving us. Sometimes we just have to control ourselves in the way we behave. And some of the times we have to adjust with other people, adjust with the present situation. So yoga can truly help you in building those changes. Now, the yoga that I'm talking about is not only limited to asanas, which is the physical aspect of yoga. What I'm talking about yoga is your connection with your higher self, is your connection with life, is reaching out for your true self, the self that you really are, which is beyond this body and mind. Because when you are little separated from your body and mind, only then you can control it. If you are it, then how can you control it? You have to be someone else than your body and mind to be able to control it, to be able to channelize its energy. Yoga means union with your higher self, means coming back to source, coming back to your home. And when you are connected with your source, then you're able to make shifts in your body mind, in especially your mental processing. And that is where the whole game of pain and pleasure lies. Now let's talk about the compulsive states of mind that we all experience based on Patanjali Sutras. And these activities of the mind can either cause a painful or a pleasurable experience based on how we are utilizing them. So the first one is judgment. Oh my God, we are all so judgmental about all the things. That is one of the biggest cognitive ability of the mind, is to judge whether something is good for me or bad for me. The decision making based on the information or direct perception or an acquired information is the basis of judgment, right? So for example, you are trying to get a particular job. Now, whether this company that you're going to work with will be good for your growth or not is dependent on what perception you have about the company, what somebody else told you about that company, or whether you did some Google search and found out the reviews about the company. So you make a decision based on the judgment. And a lot of time this is very, very helpful. But some of the times this can lead to a painful experience as well, because most of our judgment is superimposed by some of the past patterns, some of the past learnings, some of the past beliefs. So the judgment that is based on a past belief can be colored with the vision of that past idea, which might not hold true in this particular moment. So think in your life, what were some of the judgments that were unfair, that did not work out for you? And let me know in the comment section here. The second compulsive state of the mind is misjudgment. Now, misjudgment is obviously based on the ignorance, which is inaccurate information. The ignorance of what is leading to the misjudgment. And this happens all the time, right? When we listen to some other people's stories about some other person and we make our decisions based on what they are telling us. And we are not actually going there and trying to understand and look at the situation closely. Because of our ignorance, we make certain decisions that are misjudged decisions. Third very important aspect is imagination. All of us imagine, right? We imagine so many things. And most of us daydream about a lot of things we want to accomplish, we want to create in our life. And imagination, though, is one of the most exciting aspect of our mental activity, our mental paradigm, but also is illusionary because it's just an illusion. There is no reality to it. You can imagine yourself to be sitting in Switzerland right now around Alps, mountains, and sipping a cup of coffee, but you're actually here right now in this moment watching this video. But you can imagine anything. Now, imagination is a beautiful tool because if you imagine the right things, imagine positive things, imagine beautiful things, you can create a lot of energy, vibe, peace, beauty. But God forbid, if you are imagining, so you notice today, what are some of the imaginations or assumptions that you carry in your mind that have caused you more trouble? A lot of times we tend to think about the worst case scenario, right? And worst case scenario, though, could be a good defense mechanism, but in most of the cases, the worst case scenario creates havoc in your body, in your bodily chemistry. Stressful chemicals, when they release in the body, can lead to several different physical health issues and mental health issues. So keeping a gauge on what you imagine mostly will be the defining factor of how you experience your life. Fourth very powerful aspect is remembrance, your ability to remember and recall the past. Obviously, memory is a great tool, but memory can also cause us pain if we have no filters to not let the information that was traumatic, painful, to come in our awareness. When we stick with the past, we tend to bring a lot of negative energy because all of us have multiple experiences in our past that were traumatic. Unfortunately, along with all the good memories, past memories that are negative will also come in your awareness. Trust me, I had a hard time with this too. And I'm sure that a lot of you struggle with this because I keep on hearing from people through emails and messages where they say, I'm not able to let go of this person who hurt me. I'm not able to let go of how I felt betrayed, how I felt hurt. But listen, you do have the choice that you can make today to either let go or stay with it. Because if you can let go, if you can allow yourself to be in the state of present, or focus on the positives associated with the similar situation, the chances of you being happy will be a lot more. So these were the 4 compulsive states that I found to be really relevant in today's world, because most of the mental activity are around these 4 aspects. Now, while I was working with these 4 aspects and I was thinking of what I'm going to say about these aspects, I was contemplating in my life as well. And I saw that there was multiple times when I found myself judging or misjudging or imagining the worst case scenarios or remembering some of the past traumatic events and causing myself tons of anxiety. So it is evident that our mental faculties, our mental activities can be super important to move us ahead in the right direction or can hold us back. Now, how does yoga play a role in it? Well, as I said, yoga principles, yoga philosophy is based on the whole understanding of how we develop the mental restraint, how we stop the modifications of the mind so that the mind comes into the present moment awareness. And the more your mind stays in the present moment awareness, the more your mind is calm, the more your mind is at ease, the more you build a control on which direction you want it to go. If I want to go it into the direction of positivity, I have to imagine positive things. I have to visualize positivity. I have to let go of the past issues and mental blocks. I have to make sure that my judgment is not biased. I have to become curious about other people rather than judging them. I have to also accept at times that I might not be 100% right all the time. And I need to know that most of my life experiences are based on my past learnings. And if some of the past learnings are creating me more pain, then I have to let them go. Right? So my present is based on how I lived my past, and my future is going to be based on how I am going to live my present. Now, this is where yoga helps. How do we direct our mind towards more pleasure, more calm, more ease? Patanjali gave us the solution in 2 ways. First, he said that we need to practice. We need to build a practice which is continuous. And second is we need to build disidentification. Now, practice, the first point, is asanas practice, meditation practice, mindfulness practice, whatever practice that you want to choose, you need to stay on the path. You cannot have a practice that is only for a few days and then you go back into the same old routine and habits. Because when practice is not continuous, your mind is going to jump back to the old patterns. Old patterns are really, really strong. They have a strong clutch. So practicing asanas, practicing pranayama for a longer period and continuous period of time can build you self-control. Second is very important but very difficult is disidentification with the ego. Now, disidentification means building a certain amount of dispassion and detachment. Because when we're overly attached with things or people or desires or with expected outcomes, if somehow we miss receiving those experiences, those desires, then we tend to become irritated, we become frustrated, and we develop a lot of anger. So a sense of detachment means I am going to be involved but unattached, that I'm going to expect things to happen in my favor, but even if they don't, then I'm going to just take it into a stride and understand that if things are not happening in my favor right now, I am going to choose what lesson I'm learning through this rather than what is not happening right now that I really want to happen. So choosing to take it into positive stride means focusing on your evolution, focusing on learning the lessons rather than wanting everything to happen the way you want to happen. Allowing yourself to be at ease in flow of life, believing that everything is going to work out, having the firm faith in the universe, having the firm faith in the intelligence that is beating your heart and running your digestive system. Everything is happening in your favor. That's why you're alive, right? So you need to have a certain sense of detachment and more connection with yourself. This needs practice, and also reminding yourself over and over and over again that I am responsible for my peace. I am responsible for my happiness. And the more we build the self-responsibility, the more principles of yoga can help you. So I hope this video helped you becoming more self-aware, because it all begins with self-awareness, where we are and how we can direct ourselves further. And my friend, the only thing that's going to go along with you is your body and mind to make that first move. And body is not going to move until the mind directs it. You have to work on your mind. My encouragement for you is to spend 15-20 minutes a day doing a practice of mindfulness meditation. There are plenty of videos on YouTube. There are some meditations on my channel that you can use, or you can do some breathing exercises that are super helpful. You can do some journaling. So anything that you feel is missing right now in your life, you can start working towards it by consciously directing your mind to work with it. And that is what I want you to take home, because action breeds mastery. If you do not take action, nothing is going to happen. Listening of these great ideas are not enough. We need to bring them to implementation. So let me know in the comment section if you are trying to practice this for the next 21 days, because when we finish 21 days, we'll see a drastic shift in the way we use our mind. There is a bigger force that connects us all, and this big force is responsible for your being alive, my being alive, and this whole universe coming into the action.